Should I list my house now or should I wait until spring to list my house? This is one of the most common questions that sellers ask all the time. Sellers always wonder, well, if I wait until spring, is that going to achieve me a better result? Because that's really what they're talking about when they ask that question. They don't want to wait until spring just for the sake of waiting. They want to know, does waiting until spring actually get me a better result for the sale of my house? The answer to that question is, it depends. There is not a specific time of year that is 100% better for every seller. This is going to look different based on your particular situation, your timeline, and your goals. So for some sellers, the answer is yes, it would be better to wait until spring. And for other sellers, the answer is no, it will not be better to wait until spring. So some of the advantages of waiting until spring are the ones that everyone's pretty much aware of. There's generally a larger buyer pool. Kids are finishing school. People are out looking for houses. The weather is getting nicer. Those are all real advantages. And typically there are more buyers looking in the spring. But the important thing to remember is, on the other hand, that also means that there's usually more inventory. So inventory usually starts to creep up in the spring as well to match that buyer demand. So now you do have a larger buyer pool, but you also have more competition. And that increased competition can make it harder for your house to stand out in the crowd. So it's just some important things to take into account. Now, if it's, let's say it's summer or it's fall, and you're contemplating waiting until spring, the other factors to consider are the upkeep costs of your house. So property taxes, insurance, maintenance costs that might come up over the winter or at any other time of the year. Those are all things that you need to take into account as well, because every month that goes by, you're paying the expenses on your house. Once again, that depends on your particular situation and what you're looking to accomplish. So if you're thinking about selling and you're wondering, should I wait until spring, should I not? There's one question that I want you to ask yourself. If I hold off for 6 months or 3 months or whenever the spring may be when you're asking this question, what factors will be better for me at that particular time than they are right now? If you can easily answer that question, if you could say, well, for my position in the spring, this will be better and this will be better, then yes, waiting until spring is the best answer for you. If you're struggling to answer that question, and if you're thinking to yourself, well, nothing's really going to be better for me in 6 months from now, there really is no reason for me to wait, then the answer is no. You should not wait until spring to sell your house. The truth is that buyers are buying houses for all different reasons. Sometimes it's to be closer to family. Sometimes it's a relocation for their job. Sometimes they're just moving out of state to a new location. Sometimes they're upsizing. Sometimes they're downsizing. There's so many different reasons why buyers buy houses, and life does not stop after the spring. So buyers are still buying in the winter. They're still buying in the summer. They're still buying in the fall. Waiting until spring does not necessarily mean that you're definitely going to get a better result. So, like I said, this is an individualized, personalized question that you need to ask yourself under your specific set of circumstances. So if you're thinking about selling your house and you're not really sure, should I list in the fall market, should I list in the spring market, feel free to give me a call at any time, and I would say let's just have a conversation and let's talk about it. Let's look at your specific set of circumstances. Let's look at what we're seeing in the market right now, and I'll be able to help you determine if waiting until spring is the right move for you.